Hi there, welcome to today's painting tutorial. In this episode, we're going to paint a snowy owl with acrylic paints, and we're going to do this on a toned paper. So I'm going to start with a size 0 round brush. I have the colors linked in the description and also a link to the sketch below. I'm going to start with a black and add that to the center of the eye. And then I'm going to take another brush so that I don't mix my colors. And I'm going to take this lemon yellow color and then let's go around the black that we just painted. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of white and put that in the center bottom part of the eye, just for some color variation and to make the appearance that it's glowing. Then I'm going to rinse off the brush. Let's take some of this yellow ochre and put that around the iris. This is going to add some shadow and give some definition to the eyes. Then I'm going to pick up some of this burnt umber and let's put that along the top of the eye. And that's giving it more shadow. The eyelid is casting this dark shadow, so that can be made with this darker color. And then I'm going to take some black paint, and I still have this size 0 round brush, and I'm going to go around the eyes and try to make sort of the eyelids here. They have this dark eyeliner appearance. Okay. And now let's work on the beak. So I can take some white paint, put that as a highlight in the center, and then we'll pick up some black. And I'm going to put that around, and the black and the white are sort of mixing together, wet on wet, to make a gray color. Then I'm putting more black around the edge. And I'm going to blend that together a little bit so the highlight is not as extreme. Okay. And then I'm going to look at the claws and sort of do that same thing down at the feet. So I'm going to add some white. And these don't have to be too precise. Then I'm going to take some black paint and sort of go around. You can move the brush or the paper so that the brush can do the work for you and help you get that claw-like shape and that point at the bottom. And you want the grayish color to be in the center to act as a highlight. Okay, and now I'm going to take a flat brush. I have a size 8 here. I'm going to take a little bit of white and mix it with this burnt umber and just put a little bit of an impression for the branch. Just putting that in very loosely. Okay, So now let's start blocking in the colors of the body. And I went ahead and added a bluish gray and then a yellowish beige color onto the palette. And let's start working on blocking in the body. And I'm going to use this larger brush. This is a filbert, a size 9. Okay, so I can start with some darker values. We'll start with this bluish gray. And I can put that around the feet. I'm going to put this around the beak. Over here. Okay, so this is sort of a shadow color. So you can think about where the shadows are going to be on the body. Be in between the wings and in the center here. And over here. So now I'm going to take a little bit of this burnt umber and just add that in there. Maybe use it to do a little bit of defining for where the wing is. And I can go around the beak with this. Okay, so now let's mix up a gray color. So you can take your white and add some black to that. And see if you can get a mid-tone gray. I'm going to start blocking that in. We have a nice variation of color. And you can think about the feather shapes as well. Okay, and now I'm going to add some white. And let's take the white and start putting that in. I'm going to try to go around the eyes carefully and around that beak. Okay, I'm also still thinking about the shapes of the feathers. Okay, we have a little bit more of a light on this side. So I'm going to add more white to this side and try to define that wing. Then this wing here. Okay, around this part of the body. And I'm just gonna add some white to this area. Okay, and then I'm gonna put some smaller strokes in here. Try to cover up some of that beige. And then let's actually add some beige in here, just so we get a variety of color. Brush that into some of the wings and along the feet as well. Okay, I want to take some of the burnt umber and I want to add some darker color down here. Bring some of that back. Okay, so now let's let this dry completely and then we'll come back to the next step where we can add details and refine it further. So now let's take a size 9 filbert brush and let's start doing some defining here. I'm going to take some of this burnt umber first and let's start putting a little bit more of a shadow in here and along the center of the breast. And then along this wing, and also around the beak. I'm going to kind of curve out this way, and then add some shadow here, around the eyes, coming down, and over to this side. Okay, and then under here, there's some layers. We can add that in. Okay, and some more layers of the feathers. And we can outline this wing a little bit more as well. Okay, so now I want to mix some gray, so I'll take black and some white. And let's use that to continue to build some sort of shading and contrast. Can put that under some of the individual feathers to give those the appearance of shadows. And we can do that around the face as well, under the eyes, and above the eyes. Okay, I'm going to rinse off the brush, and you could let that dry if you wanted to. I'm going to keep going. So I have this brush here. It's a filbert Grenier, French for grainier, which is for texture. It has these tiny little bristles and they're really great for feathers. So I'm going to grab some water on the brush and then dip it in the white paint. And to get the little bristles to show, you don't want to use too much paint, so you can thin it down with some water. Then let's see if we can get some feather strokes with this. So any place that you want that texture of the feathers, you can go on top of the darker color, and that'll give you a nice effect showing up on some of that darker brown that we put in there. It just gives a really nice texture. And it's pretty fast too, because you don't have to paint every little feather stroke. Okay, so now I'm going to switch brushes again. This one is a chisel blender brush, a size 2. And it's basically just a really short flat brush. And I'm going to use that to put in some of these little feathers with the black. So let's take some black. And if you don't have this kind of brush, you could just use a flat brush that's kind of small. And then let's go ahead and so I'm going to let the brush do the work and just put these little squares, trying to make them shorter as I get closer. And then there is this part of the owl that's kind of looks like eyebrows. Those are just a thick sort of line there. Okay, and then you could add some of this over to the side here to create texture for more feathers. And then I'm going to take the filbert again, the size 6, and pick up some black, and then try to add some feathers with this. So you just want to go and add a dark spot to the end of the feathers. Let the brush do the work for you because it mimics that nice shape of owl feathers along the bottom. Okay, so this is the part of the painting where you can just take your time, add as much detail as you would like, add as many feathers as you would like. So now I'm just going to add some final highlights, so we can do that with some white paint. I'm going to switch to my 0 round brush, and let's come back in and add some white. So I want some white here along the face, under the eye, just adding some white back in, over the eyebrows, and don't forget to step back and look at what you're doing as well. I might just put a few highlights, and maybe along the bottom I can do a few feathers there, sticking out over here. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a little bit of white on the end of my brush, and let's put that highlight into the eye. Just a little dot to bring it to life. And then I just want to fix the eyes a little bit. I just want to take more black and go over the eyelids again carefully, because we painted over some of that. If you wanted to, you could add a little bit more work onto the feet. So take some of this yellow ochre, mix it with some white. You could add some of that as little feathers onto the feet, and then take some of this burnt umber and make sure you have shadow around them as well. All right, and I think we will call this complete. Please like and subscribe for more painting tutorials, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.